Globally, the talk about poor waste management has remained to be one among the key causes of climate change that calls for action from all sectors including government. A reason organizations have been of help in terms of sensitization in Uganda. On the 21st and 22nd of February 2025, the Uganda-based waste company Walton Africa, together with Green Global Growth Institute of Uganda, GGGI, organized a two-day workshop in Teso sub-region that was aimed at empowering women, transforming waste and building sustainable communities.
So we've come to bridge that gap by starting with training young women so that you can become ambassadors when you go back home. And from there, you can also send a message to more people, and just like that, and our communities will be transformed.
They gave knowledge to young women whom they believe should be the key ambassadors on proper waste management and fight against climate change, especially as its effects continue to cause discussions worldwide.
There are many things that if you think about your dustbin at home, when you really think about the things in your dustbin, are they really unwanted? Or are they really not useful anymore? Maybe today we'll go back with a different view about the things in our dustbin. So everyday human activities such as eating, cooking, working, shopping, transport generates a lot of waste, and there are different kinds of waste. We have wastes that are in liquid form, we have wastes that are in solid form, we also have waste in gaseous form, and other kinds of waste. So waste can lead to land, water, and air pollution. Of course, because it is liquid, it is gaseous, and it's solid. So it can affect the land, the air, and the water. And if waste is not managed, they are affected. But man, in his wisdom, which is foolishness to God, created things, things like plastic bottles, pens, many things around us, and those things unfortunately do not decompose as fast as these are the things that God had created. So our activities as man have caused such a great problem in our society, and it is us again who have to act and come up with what solutions to help our own self.
Walter Osigai, one among the co-founders of Walton Africa, who was the first facilitator, believes that women can be the key agents of change if given enough knowledge on waste sustainability.
We're championing the Uganda women's initiative on waste sustainability and entrepreneurship that we are really championing in Soroti City to empower young people, young women in sustainable waste management practices across Soroti, but also to be the ambassadors of change in their communities. So far so good, because we have been able today to train young women and also build their capacities in sustainable waste management practices, but many of them today have learned also the intersection of waste management and climate change, but also how waste is dangerous to the environment. And most importantly is that many of them have now pledged to be a difference in their homes and their communities, but also to be the ambassadors of change, but also to engage or start up small enterprises in sustainable waste management, specifically in the recycling sector. We are advocating for this because women are always been the ones that are kind of marginalized in our community. But at the same time, women are also like the ones that are always at home. But also, it's most times that we see women. They are the ones who go out on the market shopping. They are the ones who do the house chores. So mostly, we're empowering women so that they can be able to utilize this waste, but also to earn or generate income from this waste.
The best example for Teso is the Soroti City, that its corridors and streets are littered with garbage and plastics, and all spheres have gone silent, including authorities that hold the law, leaving the public with a question on who should then handle it.
This initiative is important because it addresses 5 sustainable development goals, and which is one of them is climate action, and thus making sure that we are championing climate action in Soroti City, but also making sure that we reduce emissions such as the greenhouse gases, and with that we'll see that we are mitigating the impacts of climate change by reduction of greenhouse gas emissions.
Other partnering bodies came on board, like Miss Tourism Teso, led by Jessica Sheila Anyu, and Trees for Life, run by Anis Ogeuna, the two bodies that have currently planted over 20,000 trees with a vision to plant 25 million trees across Teso and Karamoja sub-regions to fight climate change.
Trees for Life is an organization that was birthed 3 years ago, and it's an organization which was founded through the initiatives of Miss Tourism Teso. This region we are in, this sub-region we are in, very many homesteads have cut down most of the trees, especially for energy source. Very many young women and mothers have to spend a lot of time either before school or after school looking for firewood to be able to prepare a meal. Is that the same in all your villages? So there is a need. We saw a gap. The husbands and men are not spending time at their homes because there is no shades in the homes. So you literally every morning move around the hut. When it becomes so hot, you go to the center. So Trees for Life is an initiative which does the simple thing of supporting the communities to plant trees, and especially indigenous trees, fruit trees, which can serve several purposes. Number one, to restore our environment. Number two, to provide an income source, especially the fruit trees we provide like epidemic jackfruit or fede. We provide mangoes, we provide guavas.
Whereas this remains at the hands of individuals to ensure a sustainable community through proper waste management, the young women who attended the workshop are pledged to put into action the knowledge they acquired to protect the environment.
I didn't imagine that when I trash rubbish in my home, it can actually affect the climate. But I've also learned that there is a chain in this waste management and production. And just like any other production has a chain, we can actually come in as agents, as players, but do it in a way that it's sustainable, but also bring about change in the environment. Of course, the government might not come in play like immediately, or maybe the resources are not efficient, are not enough, but the way we tap into this chain can actually be a source of income for us, but at the same time, we are also handling an issue that we are facing globally. So those are the two things
But it's all about influence, because though we might complain about Cabera and polythenes, we can't stop these companies from making. But what we can do is that we can influence our friends and family to start using more eco-friendly bags and more eco-friendly things. And as we continue, we pass this on to our kids, our friends, their children, and with time, it becomes a habit, and the rest will fade away, and yeah.
We cannot wait for the community to do what we feel is best, yet they don't know what to do. So it starts with us as an individual.
It's one thing to manage waste, but how are you managing it? Is your method a sustainable one or one that is not sustainable? Some of these different ideas come in, manage your waste like this, manage your waste like this, and some of us get so excited as long as it's waste management. But we need to be picky, rather selective on the type of method that you're going to use to manage this waste.
Interestingly, Day 2 started with a panel that brought together all the partners are seeking for dimensional approaches on how to protect the environment.
I believe, based on the objectives of this workshop, first to empower women in waste management, and as GGGI, this is something that we commit to ensuring that our member countries adopt and learn. And our emphasis on this workshop as GGGI has been more on the aspect of adopting sustainable waste management practices and circular economy at that matter. So I believe that from this workshop, the women and all the other people who attended have been able to understand exactly what it takes to achieve sustainable waste management and what are the opportunities that are there when you adopt circular economy, and what is it that you have to do at the different levels, both national and local level, to make sure that you actually attain the goals that you have set.
However, coming together as the public to ensure proper waste disposal in the country and the whole world, together with avoiding all believed causes of climate change like deforestation and bush burning, can be the end bullet to this war. Designed by Teso Express Media.